Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Unfortunately, we still do this show. Coming to you on another victory-less Sunday evening. Losing 23 to 9 to the Steelers today in typical Cleveland in Pittsburgh fashion. We haven't won there in a long time. Wasn't expecting to win there today, but here we are nonetheless to bring you all of the game recap, tell you our thoughts, get your guys' thoughts. Speaking of your guys' thoughts, remember, if you want to get your thoughts and intros on the show, head to thedogspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail in the drop-down menu. If you are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Make sure to tap the notification bell so you don't miss any of the content we're putting out. Find us on any of the major social media platforms. Just search at the Dogs Podcast. Huge shout out right in the middle of my intro to Lindsay Wade becoming a YouTube member. That reminds me, if you want to become a YouTube member, it's 99 cents a month. You get the cool Browns emojis in the chat. It helps us out. So shout out to Lindsay. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm butchering it, I'm really sorry. You can yell at me. But we appreciate your support in becoming a YouTube member. I always forget to kind of plug that one. You can also just listen to the show on Apple and Spotify. And if you want more Dogs content, head to jointhedogs.com, become an official Talkback member on the Patreon page, get access to the private Discord, which is, incredibly fun these days with the Browns losing every game. Play fantasy football with us. They have other fantasy leagues going on there during other sports leagues throughout the year. It's just a good time for everybody involved most of the time. Like on game days anymore, it's just like, man, this really sucks. Should we go watch paint dry?
I was watching that. I felt like from 1 to 4.
But we're all in here. But we're all in there. We all keep each other up or put each other down depending on the time. But it's a good time for everybody involved. So if you're interested in something like that, you need some people to commiserate with from across the globe. It's jointhedogs.com to become an official Talkback member. So another tough one today, guys. Losing 23 to 9. So many bad things in this game, which we'll get into. We got some voicemails to get to. Obviously, the glaring issue is the offense. Only scored 9 points, 3 field goals. But I don't think, despite the final score of only being 23, I don't think the defense played that well. Obviously, the special teams are always a little bit of a roller coaster with this team in terms of coverage. We got lucky that there was a blindside block on one of those punt returns.
Kind of.
I do think the roughing the kicker call was bogus. I don't necessarily think that on the special teams. Even the was his Gene Steratore or whatever said he thought it was should have been not a penalty. So I'll give him a little bit of a pass on that one. You're trying to get home, you're trying to block the punt, the guy's blocking you into him, and they still call the flag. So I thought that was a little bit Bush League, but just not a great showing for the Browns. I didn't really think outside of Andre Schmidt making his kicks really by anybody. I mean, I really thought that the defense would be better, and I don't know why I thought that, because it was on the road. And again, I know a lot of people are going like, what is he talking about with the defense? We know the offense is bad. Okay? Everybody knows that. And I know that we only gave up 23 points, but time of possession, like they ran the ball right down our throats from the word jump. Some people were getting on me in the Discord about that. You guys, Justin, you said the same thing. You were texting me. Right
for 2 weeks now.
Yes, right from the word jump. Between the tackles, we're like a sieve. It looks like a Joe Woods defense between the tackles.
Yep.
We can't stop the run all of a sudden. Which then opens up the pass. We didn't sack Aaron Rodgers is 41 years old or whatever. We didn't sack him one time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I just didn't think it was a great showing out of the defense as a whole. It was a little bit bend but don't break. Obviously, we only gave up 23 points, but I just figured it would be more dominant. I thought we'd get home on Rodgers. I thought we'd stop the run. They're not a great running team. It just, I don't know. I thought the defense could have played better from the word go. Like people were talking about how they were worn out. We had the ball maybe more than them, and we ran more plays than them.
17 more plays than them.
We ran 17 more plays than them, and the time of possession was extremely close. And that's
they had it for 3 more minutes total.
3 more minutes. Okay. So, I mean, pretty even, though. That's basically like a drive.
But they got like the last, 3.5 minutes of the game basically just to run down the clock all the way to 0. So, yeah.
that's a thing. People on our socials have commented a couple of times, like defense is just tired because they're on the field so long. And if you go look statistically, the Browns have won the time of possession or been extremely close in almost every single game.
Yeah, so I'm just going through the stats here. Between the two teams, the Browns had one more first down today than the Steelers. We had 20 first downs. They had 19. They gifted us 4 first downs from penalty, and we only gave them 1. So, like, there's a little, difference there. It's not like we were just – now, the offense isn't great by any stretch, and we do not sustain long drives, but it's not as drastic as I think people want to think it is.
And I'll say this: some people in here saying, you're blaming I'm not blaming the defense. I just thought it would be a more like dominant performance. Once we got to the red zone, we tightened up. I just didn't think they would have the success moving the ball between the 20s like they did. Like we couldn't get off the field until we got into the red zone. Then it's like we buttoned up and we would hold them to a field goal. I'm not blaming the defense. Obviously, the offense is the issue with the team. I know that, I'm not blind.
Right. I mean, I did the preview show on Thursday with the Discord. If you guys want to be part of those Dogpack Discord live shows where you get to come up and talk and ask questions and all that kind of stuff with us, jointhedogs.com. But I talked about, like, this is a road game for the defense, and this is very similar to 2023 when we were an elite defense at home. On the road, we were like 27th or 28th in a lot of categories. Like, we were bad on the road. And we're doing it again this year where our home games, which we haven't had very many, have been good. Our defense has been really, really stellar. The road games is where we're getting killed. It's where the Ravens are dicing us up. It's where the Lions just did whatever they wanted to. It's where this kind of stuff happens, In the road game last week, I know it was home technically, against Minnesota, but it was a road game. We were in London. Right. We're not home. So that's a road game. Defense, you're not blaming the defense. I think everybody's to blame. I think you can, whoever you want to blame, you're right. Like, I don't really care where you want to lay blame. You're right. Everybody, this goes all around, just everywhere within the organization, the team, the players. We usually do like our Manly Band's manliest performance of the week. I got nobody for this game.
I was going to say
Schmidt, bro. Yeah.
The guy that I was ready to get rid of after 1 week. I'm glad they didn't. I will admit I was wrong. I'm glad they held patience with him, but my goodness, this team.
Let's just start the show off real quick on a bright spot. We have a kicker right now who obviously struggles in week 1, and since then has only missed 1 kick. He's been a nice bright spot for the Browns special teams unit, so we got to give him that.
And Corey B too. I thought Corey had a nice game again.
He had that one punt though, wasn't it like a 20-something?
Yeah, that one was bad.
Like, ooh, boy.
I mean, hey, you're allowed to get one of those when you're the second best player, that week
on the team.
Yeah, I agree with you guys though. As far as like phases, like across all 3 phases, you have Corey and you have Andre that did good, but like I'm very nervous about coverage on kickoffs. The offense is, man, it's tough to even start on it. There's so many different things that are going wrong. And then the defense, like we talked about, I feel like for the first 4 weeks, we were able to absolutely shut down stud running backs for the most part. Other than maybe Gibbs in Detroit, the last 2 weeks has been pretty much get what you want up the middle. And then today, just the tight ends from Pittsburgh absolutely killed us. They exposed us. Washington was a beast today for them. And that's an elite. That's and that's our elite defense that we're talking about. The ones that, hey, put it on our back. I came into the game curious to see what the vibe would be of the defense. You just traded away one of the bigger culture guys on your team as far as like a hype man. You know what I mean? And Newsome, just overnight. I literally went to bed, didn't even know he got traded until I woke up for work at 3:30 in the morning. And I'm like, well, that's crazy. That sends a big message on what direction we're heading towards. You know what I mean? But yeah, not what we'd like to see.
It was tough. I guess we can talk about Miles' comments real quick, like after the game, as we're kind of touching on the defense. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What did you guys think of the comments? Because I know what my thoughts were. What did he say, Josh? You got the quote. It was something
I don't exactly have the quote, but he said he was asked about, or he said something like losing the same way week after week is what did he say? Frustrating as
I
hell.
think.
And then they asked him like something about the losing or this or that. And he just said, yep. And it's like,
well, I even saw another one. They were like, what, like they were talking about TJ Watt and the defensive line for Pittsburgh. And they're like, they're up 2 touchdowns. They're just pinning their ears back. That must be, I don't even know the exact
They
quote.
ask
And
him,
he just said,
yeah, like,
must be nice. And I'm like, bro, you're basically the franchise. You're the face of the franchise right now.
what he meant was like, it must be nice to be up by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I know exactly what he's saying. It's just like, dude.
Here's what drives me nuts about that. He likes to talk like he's a leader. So you have 2 choices in this situation. You can be a guy who becomes like a locker room, like not cancer, but like spreading division, or you can be a guy who galvanizes and says, yeah, you know what? The offense isn't playing right now. It's our job as the number 1 defense is the league. We're going to win every game 3-0. That's our mentality. We don't quit just because we give up a touchdown. We're going to go out. We'll force a turnover. We'll score on defense. We'll find a way to win the game. Instead, it's must be nice. Boo, 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 boo. Like, I don't know. That it just annoys me. He's supposed to be your guy.
Well, and I see a lot of the comments on social media, and I can't disagree with people. They're like, brother, this is what you knew this. Like, you signed up for this. You came out during the offseason and said, this team is garbage. We're heading nowhere. There's no winning in the future for this team. I want out of here. Then they put a nice dollar, total in front of you, and you sign the contract. You're here. So that's kind of on you at this point. Like, you can be pissed off about the way the team is performing just like we are, but you signed the contract to be a part of it. I don't know. You can't tell me this like blindsided him.
Be a part of the solution. You know what I mean?
Well,
like that's what I want to say. Like you, this is 3 games in a row now. You don't have a sack.
Right.
Your defense that you're the leader of gave up a game-winning touchdown last week. So take on, like I said, I've seen these elite defenses out there. We've watched the Steelers defense carry them to 500 seasons the last 15 years.
With Duck Hodges and guys like that.
Mason
because
Rudolph,
their defense doesn't give up if the other team scores a point. They go out and they force the strip sack and they score themselves, and then they win late on forcing a turnover. That's the mentality I want to see. I call our defense front runners. When they come out early and they get the sack and they're playing in front of the home crowd, everything's great. Everybody's hyped. We're the best defense in the world. You get them on the road and the other team completes a pass at the beginning or the offense has a turnover, they go into a shell. They just give up. They're front runners.
This is why I've had such a big issue with this, with this losing culture. Bro. And I did a video, and Justin was joking about it before you came in here, Blake, but I said, like, this team sucks, and the suck is infectious, and it's forcing every component of the team to suck. You got guys that can't catch passes. You got guys that can't block. You got guys that can't run, can't throw. And it's a culture thing. And does Miles' comments here kind of open the door a little bit that, hey, maybe the locker room maybe we're losing the locker room here a little bit. If you got your highest paid player, obviously your best player in your team out here publicly saying these things, what's being said in that locker room? And like Justin said, they just traded away Newsome, a guy that everybody liked. Denzel Ward said he was, oh, that hurts or whatever. I forget the comment, but
I thought he said he cried. I don't know if he was being serious, but I mean, like,
I know they were
literally,
they're
like, yeah. I mean, they played next to each other hand in hand basically for the last 5 years?
Almost 5 years, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that's my piece on the defense in terms of, like, again, don't take this the wrong way. Like, I'm not coming out here and saying we lost because the defense. I'm just saying, like, I just want to see them be mentally tougher. Don't give up. Like, don't give up. Just, you know what I mean? Like, oh, there's no point. No. Go be part of the solution. Okay, the offense can't do it, then we're going to do it. Obviously, that's not. I don't think you're going to win 12 football games that way, but maybe you win 5. You know what I mean? And you prove like you're the elite unit. Like, don't come out there and then pout because the offense. We know the offense is bad. So you take some ownership. Go out there and perform. Do your job. I would argue they haven't done their job as well as they could the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Everybody crowned Green Bay after a couple of weeks and said, this is a team that will be in the Super Bowl. There's nobody in the NFC that can compete with them. And then when they came into our building and the defense literally pretty much won that game for us. You know, I mean, there's obviously the offense had to make a few plays, but the defense won that game for us. And like you're saying, you're not going to win 12 games that way, but we won that game that way. And that was a shocking win. Nobody gave us a chance in hell to come through in that game. And that was one of the funnest games I've ever been at. But I'm just saying, like, that's, especially with how the offense is, if we're going to get any more wins at any point this season, the defense has to be absolutely elite.
They had a chance last week. We talked about it.
Yes,
we had
We've been in every game. We've been in literally every game this year.
To a point.
We
Yeah,
had
fair, for a while.
the elite defense on the field with a chance to win it last week, and we lost. You can't call yourself, you can't be elite if you losing that game.
And that's why it's like a whole team thing. It's just nobody's doing what they need to do. This episode is sponsored by Southern New Hampshire University. Browns fans, do you ever feel stuck in your current job? Like if you just had a different degree or some more education in a certain area, you could do something you really want to do. Well, Southern New Hampshire University has the answers for you. Head over to snhu.edu/bark to learn how you can get started on your new career today. SNHU is one of the largest online accredited universities in the United States, and it's radically affordable. Their online tuition rates are some of the lowest in the nation. So seriously, what are you waiting for? Head over to snhu.edu/bark to learn how you can get started on your degree for your new career, 100% online and 100% on your time. snhu.edu/bark. Did you guys want to do anything else before I get to Brad's voicemail? I forgot we were going to play that quick.
No, go ahead, because I figured we'd be transitioning to the offense. So I'm sure Brad
there's definitely
the
stuff
offense
in here about that.
Welcome to the circus. Welcome to the Cleveland Browns Clown Show. And my name's Brad. I'll be your host today. So what did we have in the Clown Show today? An offense that can't move the ball at all unless they're penalized. We had to throw over 50 times just to move the ball anywhere, and 7 or 8 of those passes should have been intercepted. Dylan Gabriel is okay, but pretty mid. Kevin is a pretty mid coach. I'm sorry. Whatever. Coach of the year. Yeah. Whatever. Joke. Jim Schwartz, he's okay, but pretty mid defensive coach as well. Wide receiver coach needs to be fired. Special team coach needs to be fired. Andrew Barry still doesn't know how to find talent. And here we are now down multiple people hurt. So here we go. Yeah, another week of suffering, wanting to gouge my eyes out with this team and suffering the rest of the season, probably doing that way. So here we go. Whee! On to more suffering. Let's go Browns, I guess. Woo, roof, roof.
That was very positive. Very positive voicemail.
I was expecting much worse.
Spoiler alert, I don't have a positive one to play.
Well, spoiler, I'm not
shocking
shocked. I'm not shocked by that at all, brother. Go ahead.
I did I had a comment I wanted to get to from our new YouTube member. Here it is. It said something like everybody else, we weren't expecting the offense to be this bad this year. And this is what I'm going to say to that. We had basically one of the worst offenses of all time last year. Okay. What did we add to it this year to make you think it would be better?
So just to argue this point, and it's not even an argument, I think that we were all kind of on a pipe dream that Flacco coming back could change things. The offense.
We tried to tell you guys not to expect that.
I know, but offensively scheming, like the offensive line would be better, even though we added legitimately really nothing to it. And we're already down to way worse than we were last year on the offensive line, which is our hugest problem. It's a glare. I don't even know if I can watch whoever's back there. Like the people that want Shedeur Sanders to play, I don't even know if I want Shedeur Sanders to play, because I'm like, what you will see from that performance will not be a reflective of what that kid is capable of, because the offensive line is so dog shit and cannot do anything. It's a turn. It literally is just, hey, let me put a couple hands on a guy, and then they go by and just whoever's back there is screwed. They're fighting for their life. I don't think you get a proper evaluation of anybody. I feel like I have a proper evaluation of Dylan Gabriel after some games, but it's bad. It's so stinking bad. I think we had a lot of pipe dreams. We figured the defense would pull us to a lot of wins, and ultimately all those things were not true. We were completely fooled. Whether you believe them or not, we got duped big time.
is there a mouse in your pocket? Because at least me, I remember, I think we had this exact conversation with Josh where he said something about like, he didn't see any way which the offense could be worse than last year. And I was like, I think it's possibly going to be worse, especially once we thought Quinshon wasn't going to be playing. Like,
Right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't add anybody of any value. What we added a 2-year older Joe Flacco from the last time we had him, a Joe Flacco who wasn't good last year. And we added no wide receivers.
It's a huge mistake. Absolute failure.
We added no tackles. How many times in the offseason do we say you can't count on DeJuan Jones to be your tackle? How long did he last? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Jack Conklin can't stay on the field. He's off the field again. Guys, at the beginning of this game, we had played 11 different combinations on the offensive line so far this year. And I'm pretty sure by the end, when Cam Robinson got hurt, we were now at our 12th different combination. Like, I get all the people like screaming about the offense. Football is a game won and lost at the line of scrimmage. It's a tale as old as time. You can have all the skill players in the world. If you don't have a line, you will not be successful on either side. The Browns' offensive line is terrible. It is awful. And then you couple that with the fact that your number one wide receiver is Jerry Jeudy. I can't say enough bad things about Jerry Jeudy. And I made this comment in the Discord today. At one point, I was like, Jeudy might be having his best game of the year so far, and he's still awful. He hurt us more than he helped us in the first half.
Just terrible mental
His
mistakes.
drops, his terrible penalties.
Yes.
Like we get a roughing the passer call, but it's conveniently what was he doing? The ball was so poorly thrown. He didn't stop it. You could stop an interception by coming back to the ball, batting at the ball, trying to make a play on the ball. You literally just grabbed the guy by the waist and threw him out of bounds.
Yep.
And then you had the stupid personal foul penalty. You had drops. The guy, that's who we're, and then who's our number 2 today? Jamari Thrash? Guys, if we cut Jamari Thrash right now, does he get signed by another team?
No. I don't think so.
He's going out there and getting meaningful snaps for us.
Well, maybe the number 2 was Isaiah Bond, and he tried to catch the ball with his helmet today. I mean, at least he tried.
And here's the thing: I'm not giving him a pass, but Isaiah Bond is an undrafted rookie. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but
there's
I was
going
like,
to
dude,
be
it's a quick slant, man. Look at
there's going to
back.
be. It's not crazy to think for rookie mistakes to happen with undrafted free agent rookies who weren't even on the team in camp. And we shouldn't be in a position where we have to ask this guy to be a wide receiver 2 for us.
Well, we had a wide receiver 2, but he couldn't get his head on straight, and we cut him. Remember that guy, Deontay Johnson? We brought him in. That was the solution to fixing all of the offensive problems.
So
the other wide receiver 2 can't stay on the freaking field ever.
I've completely forgotten about him.
That's my pushback to the people who are like, the offense shouldn't be this bad. It was this bad last year, and we did nothing to make it better. In fact, we maybe got worse personnel-wise. You added Judkins, who's great, and then you added Fannin, a third-round tight end, and you're banking on those guys to save your offense. You're not going to be good. You're not going to be good. I am way more concerned with the fact that the offensive roster – since 2020, if you go, I was looking at so much stuff this week. Back in 2020, when AB got here, we had a healthy Baker, we had Jarvis, Odell, David Njoku, Nick Chubb, and Kareem Hunt. Go look at the offensive personnel every single year since then. It just gradually got worse in year 2, gradually worse in year 3. And now, if you compare this roster to some of the worst Browns teams of all time, they're comparable. This offensive roster is it. Nobody would win games with this. Nobody would put up points with this. And I'm not people are all about it's the scheme. Where the scheme can be better. I 100% think the scheme can be better. I'm not saying it's perfect, and we'd be the Lions if we had better players. There's room to be better there. But we saw the offense be explosive with one wide receiver and a 2-year younger Joe Flacco. That's all it took for this offense to throw for 300 yards a game, was one wide receiver and a quarterback that just played okay. We don't even have that right now. We don't even have that.
Well, I mean, this kind of goes back to what Justin was saying too, and you're talking about the line. I mean, I think there's a lot of Shedeur Sanders fans in the chat. If I'm kind of skimming through it correctly, guys, if you like Shedeur Sanders, you probably don't want him to play right now. Dylan Gabriel is your best option to be on the field because he can be your sacrificial lamb if you're a Shedeur Sanders guy. Gabriel, they made him throw the ball 52 times a day. We haven't even really talked about that yet. What are you doing? This is a kid's second start. 52 times? And I saw this stat. He had 4 completions that were over 10 yards in the air. 4 out of 52 freaking throws. It was all checkdowns, dink and dunk, and he got sacked 6 times. How many times do you think Shedeur Sanders are going to get sacked? Especially like you said, Blake, now there's no Conklin. Now there's no Cam Robinson. It's going to be KT Leviston. It's going to be Cornelius Lucas. And if something happens to any of our interior, Zach Zitter can't even be active.
Nope.
He sucks that bad.
It'll be Tevin Jenkins.
Yes.
Which we don't even, a guy that he's kind of a journeyman former first round guy, right? Is that
right. Second, I think.
But, okay. But I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to bank on. You know what I mean?
Let's talk DG a little bit. So you know what today reminded me of? What I kind of touched on this just a second ago. Today's offense reminded me of 2023 when the line was banged up. Nick Chubb was hurt. All we had was Jerome Ford, and we had got centers playing guard and stuff like that by the end of the year. And teams would just sell out to stop the run.
Yeah.
And we were just throwing.
Yep.
What was the two big? I just touched on it. The only difference is we had Amari Cooper and we had a 2-year younger Joe Flacco. That's what this reminded me of. We threw the ball 52 times, which is insane. When J.J. Watt said that on the broadcast, I was like, wait, what? He's throwing the ball 50 times? It caught me off guard. But it was like they were selling out to stop the run. People were freaking out about the time of possession. If we would have just we would have had the ball never. It would have been 3 and out every single time. They were selling out to stop the run.
Yes.
Here, we have to be able to complete some passes downfield. Dylan Gabriel, in my opinion, I'm not saying he's the worst quarterback in the NFL. I'm just saying I think he is what he is. He's too small. His deep balls sail. And he does not look – I thought he was athletic. He looks slow. He does not look athletic. There's nothing extra. There's no juice. I'm at the point now where I would just put Shedeur in. And like you guys said, he's going to run around. We're probably going to have some awful plays. We're going to have some 20-yard losses with him running around. We're going to take some sacks. But if that comes with pushing the ball downfield a little bit, just do it. I don't know. This will be the offense with Dylan Gabriel. This is what it's going to be. We have to be at least threaten the defense deep.
This is who Kevin wanted, though. That's the thing. This is Kevin's guy, and I get so frustrated watching it because a lot of times we feel like they're trying to stick a square peg into a round hole and all this stuff. Not now. He was handpicked by this regime as the number 2 guy on their draft board, and I got. You either loved what I said the other day or people crucified me for talking about Jackson Dart. Sorry. We like Jackson Dart on this show. They evaluated Jackson Dart and said, nah, Dylan Gabriel is higher on our board than Jackson Dart.
I told you guys earlier, I'm very just confused with the philosophy. You know what I mean? As far as just with Dylan Gabriel, because you draft him in the 3rd round, you use a valuable pick, a pick that right now, God, I would love to see a wide receiver or offensive lineman be involved with that pick. You know what I mean? Especially if what you heard out of it was we viewed him as like a career backup kind of guy, and it's like, I just don't understand what we're doing then. The problem too, like Blake's, you were talking about it. We have to pretty much abandon the run because basically all the short passes they're all like at the line of scrimmage or 2 yards upfield. It's basically like it's a run play every fucking play where there's nothing. So go ahead and put everybody in the box. And then guess what? When you don't and you drop a couple guys back, that's why you're seeing damn near 5 or 6 interceptions is because I don't want to say Sam Darnold seeing ghosts, but the guy is very short. He pretty much knocked half of our pass catchers out of the game today, one way or another.
The hospital balls. Oh my God.
It was crazy. It's just, and I like I told you guys, I'm I'm okay. I'm ready to see Shador, but my thing is, I'm like, I guess I'm worried because I don't want it to destroy his confidence. I think he's a very confident guy, and I think he can do some things if he believes in himself and he's ready and all that. I love that, and I would love to see him go out there and play hero ball, but I just don't know how much hero ball you can pull off with what we're trying to do and what we have out there,
right?
Especially
Hero
with
ball,
the line.
Well, in the receivers, hero ball with what? So you make a nice play and you throw the ball to Harold Fannin wide open down the field. Fucking drops it. Jerry Jeudy, hit him in the chest. He's going to drop it. David Njoku, drop it. These guys suck. I don't know what it is. So what's Shador going to do? I mean, I'm with you guys. Like, I'd love to see him, but I'm also apprehensive. Like, we're just going to destroy him. We're already destroying Dylan. Like, that's what we're watching happen.
Absolutely. It's like the team has all.
Yes.
You know, like
he is getting destroyed.
We talk about like Marvin Harrison Jr. having a little bit of the yips. It's like the whole team has yips.
Well,
you know what I mean? It's like everybody's just,
And Browns fans
gotta
always
make a
like,
play.
Cleveland's where quarterbacks go to die. We ruin every quarterback's career. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're watching it right now. That's what we're doing to Dylan Gabriel. He's the next on the list. You're watching us ruin him with what we're putting around him, how we're handling the situation. And the thing is, we went into Pittsburgh today. Those are the only 2 quarterbacks on the roster, 2 rookies. That's what they thought was a good idea.
Like that, if we want to criticize, like we can criticize talent evaluation. You know what I mean? Like so many people want to just put it on the scheme. If the scheme's not
it's
perfect,
on AB too.
But if you go watch, like, we have guys open. I'm not saying we're running the best offensive scheme in the world, but there's guys open. But they drop it. We don't see them because our quarterback's 5'5". You know, how many times we didn't add a serviceable tackle. We, as 3 dumbass podcast hosts, all offseason said, you cannot count on DeJuan Jones to be your tackle. He didn't even make it out of the first quarter of the season.
Both of our starting tackles were coming off major knee surgeries. Both of them.
Yes.
And we just were like, we trust it. Trust the process.
And so part of this, it's either because they just didn't think it was going to be an issue, which I really hope that's not it, or it's because they know this is going to be a multi-year thing. They're all on the same page. You couldn't address every hole in one single offseason. And until basically the Deshaun thing is done, this is just what it's going to be. And it sucks for us. But I get the sense they're all on the same page. I mean, Jimmy Haslam basically said it in the preseason. This is a multi-year thing. We all made a decision to get Deshaun, so now we all got to get out of it. Unless like the locker room becomes blatantly lost. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking end of the year. People are talking trash in the media. There's leaks. There's fights in the locker room. That, like, everybody's back. Everybody's back because once I said this in the Discord today, once the Deshaun deal fell apart, the window closed. And didn't fall apart. Once it became clear that Deshaun wasn't good, our window that we thought we were in no longer existed. It now became about opening up a new window. And that's what we hope this most recent draft class is the start of. But unless part of that initial draft class was going to be like the quarterback, the window, your window's not going to be fully open until you have the quarterback. And until we see Shador, as of now, we don't have it because Joe Flacco wasn't the quarterback, and I truly don't think Dylan Gabriel's the quarterback. But it's also going to be super tough to evaluate. I think Shador has the highest ceiling out of any of the quarterbacks that have been on the roster this year. But it is going to be crazy tough to evaluate him with this offensive line and these wide receivers.
For me, and I've said this before, like, my biggest worry is whether or not this whole regime, I'm talking to everybody, I'm talking front office, coaching staff, everybody, can they actually evaluate, identify, and develop offensive talent? Because so far, they haven't. And we keep talking about get out from under the Deshaun Watson deal as if these guys weren't the ones that did that. And I know back then we were all excited about it. We were like, hey, great move. But we're also fans. They had all the information. They've got all the connections within in the NFL. They evaluated this and it blew up in their face. And every decision they've made since then has been a bad decision. Like, they can't even get anybody competent. If it wasn't for Joe Flacco coming in here and just chucking the ball all over the field in 2023 for a couple games, we wouldn't have won those games. Like, you know, they said DTR is good enough to be the backup. They said Dylan Gabriel's our guy. All these decisions are bad. They suck.
The at least with the Deshaun thing, I feel like that's 16 teams wanted him. So it's not like we were the only team who thought he was still good.
No, I totally, I get that.
You know what I mean? But I will say this too, this is a huge project. So like, I don't even know if there's a way to do it without it just consuming my life. But once the Browns traded for Deshaun, so we traded Baker. Okay. That was our starting quarterback. And then we traded for Deshaun, or signed Deshaun. Deshaun was now supposed to be the franchise's starting quarterback. And I looked at this. We have played in the entire time he's been here now. Deshaun has played in, if you don't count the Colts, because he played like 3 games that year, or 3 snaps that year, he's played in 18 games. The other 53 or 55 games or whatever like that, since we've made the move to go to Deshaun, we have played with a backup quarterback. There's not many NFL teams who go on playoff runs or any good if they have to start a backup quarterback. Every quarterback that has stepped on the field not named Deshaun Watson since we signed Deshaun has been this franchise's backup quarterback. And we're operating an offense with a backup quarterback. Some teams can get good quarterback play out of backups. We have been one of them. We got good play. We got the best play of Jacoby Brissett's career in Cleveland. We got the most relevant, best 8-game stretch of Joe Flacco's last decade. Kevin Stefanski is the only reason Joe Flacco is still in the league. If he wouldn't have had that run with the Browns in Kevin Stefanski and Amari Cooper, Joe Flacco would have been out of the league 2 years ago. He never would have got the stint in Indy, and then we never would have brought him back this year. He would have been out of the NFL 2 years ago. So go show me the NFL teams that are just playing at a super high level on offense and going on playoff runs and being competitive, that are playing with exclusively backup quarterbacks. And then couple that with the fact that while you're playing your backup quarterbacks, you lost your franchise's best running back in Nick Chubb. Amari Cooper fell off of a cliff. You're now throwing to Jerry Jeudy and Jamari Thrash. So like some of these teams, people are like, look how good Mac Jones is doing. He's still got Trent Williams at left tackle. He's still got CMC in the backfield. We got KT Leviston at left tackle, and we're thrown to Jamari Thrash. Like there's a difference there. So it's like,
well, I'm worried about the talent evaluation overall, like, because it's bad. We just have not put anybody worth a damn in any of these spots.
And I don't know if we would have hit on him anyway, but I think losing the picks at the time, we were like, the picks are irrelevant. Watson will elevate the rest of the team, correct? I think right now you're seeing the loss of those, get reinvigorating this roster with some young talent every year. I mean, look, it's very early, but just look just on this draft, you know what I mean? Just like, I know it's really rough, but Judkins, he looks like he's going to be nice if we can get an offensive line with him. I like Fannin. I know he had a tough couple of moments today, but I think for the most part, Fannin looks like he's a dude. He's a dude. He could be an elite weapon on our team. Schlesinger is nice, but also it goes back to the idea that during the draft, we were going, why are we taking defensive guys? Our offense is in shambles. Mm-hmm. Why we need an alpha. We need an alpha wide receiver 1. I don't know that we have a 1 or a 2 right now, or you know what I mean? And just the offensive line, it's very frustrating. Like, and then we get to watch it week in and week out.
I want to Kenny Mack in here. He said good point. We thought DW would attract free agents also. Clearly not happening. You know what I mean?
I feel like we were misled about a lot of things too.
So do we got some more voicemails?
Let's hit the commercial break real quick, okay. And then when we come back, we will get to mixed voicemail, and then we got Devontae after that.
Summer's hotter weather is finally here, but don't let hair loss also make you sweat. Regrow hair with help from Hims. They provide access to personalized treatment so you can see thicker, fuller hair in just 3 to 6 months. Get started from the comfort of home. Fill out an intake form and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to you for free. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/Hail Mary. That's HIMS.com/Hail Mary for personalized hair loss treatment options. hims.com/Hail Mary. Individual results may vary. Based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This episode is sponsored by Manly Bands. Browns fans, if you're looking for manly rings and manly things, head over to manlybands.com/dogs, DAWGS, and check out everything Manly Bands has to offer. And right now, get 35% off site-wide with promo code PRIME. That's PRIME. They've got rings out of every material you could possibly be looking for. They've even got stuff you're not looking for, like meteorite and dinosaur bone. They've got collections like their awesome Lord of the Rings themed bands. They've got DC Comics and Jeep and Jack Daniel's whiskey barrel bands. And they've also got great gifts for men like barware, chains, bracelets. They've got retirement gifts. They've got shot glasses. They've got lighters. They've got all kinds of things. So head over to manlybands.com/dogs. Use that promo code PRIME to get 35% off site-wide today. That's manlybands.com/dogs, promo code PRIME.
Since 1989, Mount Hope Fence has set the standard in outdoor living. From decks and railings to fences and patios, we've got you covered. Our lineup features top brands like TimberTech, AlumaGuard, Preferred Railing, and Unilock, along with our own premium Duralux vinyl products. For over 30 years, we've partnered with contractors ensuring reliable job site delivery. Discover quality and excellence in all things outdoors with Mount Hope Fence.
All right, we're back. We're going to go straight to a voicemail.
Yep, this is Mick.
Hey, y'all, it's Mick from San Diego. Game's still on, but I need to say this now. It is completely laughable what the Browns are doing on offense. 57 passes, 17 rushes. There is no balance on the offense. And I'm watching other games like Carolina, the Saints. They're putting up points. They're putting up numbers. And I'm looking, and it's like, are we really that much worse than those two teams? I don't think so, but it just seems like those two teams care a little bit more. And our field goals were within the red zone. Like, we can't score. Like, I'm looking at the score, 23-9. Boswell kicked field goals from 45, 50, and we're kicking these short yardage range field goals, and we can't score a touchdown. This game would be completely different if we could score touchdowns or anything like that. I have no idea what to do. I'm happy the Buckeyes won, everything like that. But it's like, at some point, we have to do something different. I don't know what that different thing is, but it's laughable. I still watch because I'm a fan, but like, come on, guys. On to next week. Go Browns. Boo-hoo.
He's right. He's right about the red zone. We were 0 for 3 today. You know what I mean? We couldn't get the ball. We couldn't get the ball in the end zone.
First of all, shout out to Mick. I love having callers in from all the way across the country, and he's been calling consistently now, so we appreciate that. The thing, we kind of touched on this earlier with all the rushing attempts compared to the passing attempts. They're selling out to stop the run. All these little check down, that's basically our run game today.
Yep.
So like I know it was 57 pass attempts, but it's not like he was throwing 20-yard bombs 57 times. I mean, how many of them were just check downs, screens, that was basically an extension of the run game. They were selling out to stop the run. Like I said, it would have been 1 yard, 2 yards, 1 yard punt every single drive if we just would have kept forcing running the ball. I mean, we've ran the ball pretty consistently like all season. This is the first time where we got behind and it became obvious we weren't going to run the ball, and we started just kind of dinking and dunking our way down the field instead. When you don't have any dudes, it's kind of tough in the red zone. Also, when you have a 5'5" quarterback, it's going to be tough in the red zone. I guess the big, like we've mentioned, the bigger issue is the fact that's the quarterback that they evaluated and wanted, and it's a little bit more passable to me because they didn't take him in the first round. It's not like they took him at number 2 overall. They waited till the 3rd round, so if he doesn't hit, it's not that big of a deal. He's a 3rd round pick, but there were other quarterbacks on the board. Now there only seems to be like one who's really playing like pretty decent, and that's Jackson Dart. To everybody screaming about the offense, you guys remember in this draft too, we said we didn't want to pick a defensive player. At one point we said every single pick in this draft should be offense. That should tell you what we thought that the offense was going to be like. We didn't do that. So I don't know. It's one of those things where things can be better schematically, things can whatever, but until you address the issues up front, until you catch the ball, like at some point it's a players league. Players got to play, players got to make plays, and we don't have the good enough players to make plays.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like I'm just kind of done with the front office. Like Andrew, like this is the roster you assembled. I'm good, man. Like somebody else can do better than this for sure. We could do better than this.
I'll say the biggest issue though is if you move on, the next guy's going to have to deal with the same stuff in terms of the salary cap.
Yeah, I know, and that's where Andrew Barry's kind of dug his claws in, if you will, and made it to feel like you really can't move on from me, even though I'm not very good at acquiring good talent or evaluating the talent. It's not we harp on Andrew Barry. He's just the leader of the thing. You got your scouting department, who I don't know what's wrong with them. Who's in the scouting department that's not doing their job very well, and all this other stuff. There's other decision makers in the front office, not just Andrew Barry, but he's just the main one. But collectively, they have dismantled the roster and left it in shambles.
On one side of the ball. Yes.
Yeah. That's why they were able to build a very good defense, but that gets you 4 wins in 25 games.
Do you guys, this is my thing, I would say, with the Browns, like the last 5 years. I feel like after every year it finishes and we go, man, we just have a huge glaring hole at this position group or this unit. And I feel like we've been chasing that pipe dream for years now. Every year it's, well, man, we're not that great at linebacker. Let's figure out linebacker. All right, well, now we're not good at whatever it is, whether it's an edge or whatever, the line. I just feel like every year we kind of chase this pipe dream where we're a position group away from being relevant again. And I watch and I'm like, we're multiple position groups away right now from being, you know what I mean? Like I look at our line and I look at a bunch of old guys that can't get any push. Yeah. I mean, I think we need serious, major talent at wide receiver. We are terribly lacking there. Quarterback, I'm not even sure because we have no talent at wide receiver or offensive line. So, and it goes this way since I was literally 13. Defense will be good one year, then the offense is addressed and then the defense sucks. It's been like this my whole damn life. So to me this is not shocking, but it's just damn, can we figure it out? I'm tired of paying to watch the Browns or sit down and watch the Browns. They should be paying us. It's agonizing to watch this crap. And then the worst part is, and we laughed about this before the show, we have to watch, I go to high school football games, have a great time. Every Friday night, go to a high school football game. Saturday, we get to be blessed that we get Ohio State football and great college games. We get all this talent. Then 1 o'clock comes around and I get to watch the Browns and I'm just so damn disappointed every time. And then of course the 4 o'clock games, I get to watch some West Coast teams that's just fun to watch. And it's annoying. It's super annoying. It's frustrating. At some point, can we figure it out? I'm going to die before I'm going to get to see this team do anything relevant other than a first round exit or past that, maybe a second round.
Somebody in here said a good quarterback can make a huge impact and a difference. I agree. Obviously, wide receiver tackles we got to address, but we got to hope. I don't think Dylan Gabriel's the guy, honestly. We got to hope it's Shador is. We all have high hopes for him. But you saw Jackson Dart's playing well so far. We're not crowning him or anything, but he looks like he's got some juice. And when I was watching him the other day on Thursday night, what I noticed is it's not even necessarily that he's playing perfect. He just had 3 turnovers against the Saints the week before, but he's got some juice.
Yes,
he does some things. And I kept saying this. Right now, we have nothing, and we haven't had anything in a long time, basically my whole life, but I'll go back to healthy Baker year. We have nothing at the quarterback position that gives you anything outside of the X's and O's. You know, like somebody, I think Trent Dilfer always used to say, who can play beyond the X's and O's. Maybe we're in a bad play. The quarterback makes up for it with a great throw or a scramble. Maybe the left tackle gets beat. It's okay. The quarterback shrugs him off, finds time, makes a big time throw. We don't have that. We have Dylan Gabriel is a guy who can play only he can very limitedly play only in the structure of the offense. There's no juice. There's nothing extra. He's supposed to be athletic. Man, he does not look athletic. I'll be honest. He just looks way too small to be on an NFL football field. He looks tiny, and it looks like it affects him in a huge way. So I do think quarterback is obviously, we got to hope Shador can be some juice. Like hoping he can come in and not necessarily be perfect. Be like a little Jackson Dartish. Maybe you missed the guy on the read, but you got some juice and you make up for it with a scramble. You know, things that can get us by until we get you more caught up to speed, that kind of thing. But I'm ready for the Shador thing, because here's this offense that we saw today. It's going to be the offense we see next week. I don't know why everybody's like, every single Sunday people are, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be bad again next week. So just prepare yourself.
What I know we're not a Giants podcast. The thing that's also frustrating is you turn that Thursday night game on and you go, no Malik Neighbors, no Darius Slayton. You know, this dude's out here balling out. He's throwing to Jordan Humphreys. He was on the practice squad for Denver. The only reason I know that is because we're running dynasty leagues out here where there's like 25 friggin' roster spots, and you might have to pick that dude up and hope a couple guys get hurt. I want that for the Browns. I want some guy to come in and elevate it.
Where would Wan'Dale Robinson be in terms of wide receiver on our team?
One.
He would be that's a huge issue.
Yeah,
and I think Wan'Dale Robinson's like a solid NFL wide receiver, but he's not a one, and he would clearly be our one.
Yeah, the thing with Dart, and again, I know not a Giants podcast, but we watched the games. And we did all the pre-draft stuff. Like, I watched so much tape on these quarterbacks. And I'm just, like you said, like just a stupid podcaster. And I saw things on Jackson Dart's film, and I'm like, and I was the first one to tell you guys he's going in the first round.
Drum.
He's going in the first round,
big time. Yep.
And we talked about it. Like, if the Browns come away with the evaluation and say that's our guy, then you take him at 2, and who cares what anybody says? Or you trade with the Jaguars and take him at 5 or whatever. Trade back up and get him if he's your guy. The Browns went on dates with every single one of these quarterbacks, and Dylan Gabriel's the one that they came away saying that's the one we want to be in a relationship with. Not these other guys, not Jackson Dart. And then I go out there and I watch him making freaking throws. Pro level NFL throws. And like you said, he's not perfect. It's his third start. He's a rookie, but he's shown throws on the field. I'm like, that is what a franchise quarterback does. He's got the makings for it. You don't see that with Dylan. We'll see if we can see it with Shador, but it just pisses me off that was their evaluation, that this isn't our guy. Really?
It says, though Mr. B Safe said we're not addressing the biggest issue, O-line. Maybe you're just late getting in here.
We did. That is the issue, brother. I'm with you 100%. Terrible.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Do we have another voicemail?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, this is Devontae.
Hey guys, it's Devontae here. Sitting here with my daughter on my lap. 9 points. I said in the Discord, we'll be lucky if we even get to 12. 9 points. Why does Kevin Stefanski still have a job? Just why? I don't care about the safety. I don't care about safety of players. He's not good for. Why does he have a job? If you were a boss and out of 25 projects that determined financial gain, we only got back 4, you would fire that person. So why does Kevin Stefanski have a job? And it's not saying that shorts would be any better, but it's production. Production matters. But hey, it's Cleveland. It snows, rains, sleets, hails, has a tornado all in one day. It's Ohio. Jesus, the rest of the year, that's go Browns.
Very positive voicemail.
Yeah.
Hey, Devontae.
The very depressing one for the last.
Here's my pushback. I know people are waiting. He didn't mention, at least I don't remember, before the beginning of this year, not one time did he say we should fire Kevin before this season. Not one time. I didn't hear really anybody saying that Kevin should be fired before the season or at the end of last year. Then the schedule came out and we all said, we're going to be 0-8 at the bye. Still, nobody said we should fire Kevin. Everybody thought we were going to be 0-8 at the bye, and I didn't hear we're going to be 0-8 at the bye. We should fire Kevin. And then we come out, and we have technically, I know this sucks, but we have technically exceeded expectations by not being 0-8 at the bye. And I'm hearing fire the coach. You all, if you thought Kevin was the reason we were losing now and not because how bad the personnel is, you should have been screaming to fire Kevin in the offseason. Because as we've been at ad nauseum in this episode, the offensive tackles in this line is terrible. These wide receivers are terrible. So far, the quarterback play we have is terrible. So unless you think if that's not the issue, then fire Kevin, and next year bring back the same roster, and we'll be Super Bowl bound.
Well, so I know like Devontae in the chat, I'm sure you guys are waiting for it. I did not say to fire Kevin before the season or after last season. I should have. I'm saying it now. Fire Kevin. I was thinking about this earlier, though. Like, so we went into the season with low expectations. It's kind of like today. I did the preview show on Thursday saying, we're not going to win. Like, I know we're going to lose the game. But it's different experiencing it and watching how it happens. Like, when you watch the team look unprepared, undisciplined, like they don't know what they're doing, poorly coached, over and over and over. It's like, okay, I've had enough. And I know I'm not the only one.
We've improved in so many areas in terms of like looking prepared. Our penalties are way down. Our penalties are way, despite the fact that we're playing like 13 rookies, penalties are way down this year. Way down. That's just a fact. Go look it up. And then, again, we're playing, and that's with playing double-digit rookies in important positions. So, like, what about us looks unprepared?
Dude, they don't look like they know what they're doing out there. I've watched, like, Jake Burns film breakdowns. Last week, it was Njoku. It was the veteran line teller. These guys, they're out there with their hands up. They don't know what they're doing. They're doing the wrong reads. They're blocking the wrong guy. You can defend the coaching. That's fine. And if you like Kevin, I've told people this. I get it. I don't blame anybody. I'm done with it. I'm done. I don't want it anymore. At some point, the record has to speak for itself. I mean, it could be 4-21. It could be 4-40. But
you're right. The record should speak for itself. He's been to the playoffs twice, and he's been to the playoffs 40% of his time here.
You always say it's a "what have you done for me lately" league, though.
Man, he's coaching with two hands and a foot behind his back.
Well, then let somebody else do it. See if they can do better.
They wouldn't. And if you fire the two-time coach of the year,
I hate that.
Who's had to deal with this,
he got carried to that by Joe Flacco just as much as he helped Joe Flacco stay in the league.
He carried Joe Flacco.
Come on,
Joe Flacco carried him.
Yes.
Give me a break, bro. Joe Flacco
they weren't going to win any games during that stretch without Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco
with
hadn't been
DTR,
relevant
they were going to win all those games
decade.
And make the playoffs.
He also won a game with DTR that year. He won a game with PJ Walker that year.
I knew it. I knew PJ Walker was coming.
On a missed field goal. We talked about how it was so slim. We should have lost to the Colts. We should have lost to the 49ers. You talk all the time. We got lucky bounces that whole season.
If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. We won.
I'm just saying, man.
We won.
Okay, winning by getting lucky or however you want to define it back then doesn't change that we're not winning now.
The whole league is about getting breaks. Who can stay healthy? Who gets the breaks?
Chat.
All that stuff.
Come on, chat.
Well, of course, the people who can't think objectively.
Fire Kevin, bring it on.
Honestly,
so I at this point, I'm so used to being right. I can't wait. I hope he gets fired and we win no games again next year.
Pretty much be our whole lives.
We're not going to win games next year anyway.
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, I don't think it honestly matters because both of them look like guys that are just super comfortable. They don't think that no matter what the consequences are, I don't think that they're getting fired. I think that they've got a handshake deal that, oh, hey, we goofed up, which it starts from the top with just accountability with the ownership. Don't meddle in the deals if you don't want to be with it, and don't deal with the consequences of the actions with the Watson trade and stuff like that. That's where I'm at. The thing that's frustrating at the end of the day is like there won't be a change. Whether it's AB, whether you like what AB's doing and you think he's cooking or not, there won't be a change there, and there won't be a change at head coach. And it'd probably be 2 years. Honestly, I won't be shocked if it would be up until the new stadium. I'm not even kidding. I think that Literally, they're just preparing for a new stadium deal. That's all it is. They are building up a big show for when they unveil the new dome. That's all it is. We're probably going to watch shitty football for the next 3 years so that they have a good product when they roll their stadium out.
You're right, man. They put more work and effort into that Dude Wipes brown helmet reveal than they did getting this team ready to go this season.
That's just, at the end of the day, whether you like Kevin or you don't like Kevin, I think Kevin probably still has the locker room. I really do. But when I watch him go through the press conference, it's just going through the motions. And I know it's coach speak and all that, but it's just like, man, we got to do better just isn't doing it for me.
What's he supposed to say? What would do it for you?
Well, hey, go and talk to your general manager and say, hey, I think we need to address some weaknesses at the offensive line. I think we need to go get it. I'm saying, well, no, I'm just saying if that, so
it's a job though. Do you go to your boss and tell your boss what to do?
No, I'm not. That's not what it is. So aren't they all in one collective unit moving in one vision?
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
first off, the ownership shouldn't be involved. Yeah, and the ownership, I know, and that's part of the deal. And that's why you have, hey, I screwed up. We took a swing and miss on Watson. Like if that was Kevin's guy, which we don't think Watson was ever Kevin's guy, correct? Would we agree with that?
So that's my point. You're just making my point. Ownership's involved. He wasn't Kevin's guy, but Kevin's got to take the fall.
I'm not saying Kevin has to take the fall. I'm saying that you have zero accountability with basically the front office for 2 years. For this year, and not even last year. Last year was rough. And we went, it is what it is. We suck. And then at the end of the year, we were shocked that Myles Garrett didn't want to be here. And we can say, Myles Garrett didn't show up the last 3 weeks and all that. But when Myles Garrett said, hey, I want the hell out of here, I'm not on board with losing every friggin' year. I want to be on board with championships and stuff like that. We went, whoa, Myles, hold on. Let's pump the brakes here. Let's try to figure this out. Let's turn the culture around. I just feel like just accepting just a loser mentality it's just week after week.
This episode is sponsored by ISSA. Browns fans, if you're into health and fitness, have you ever wondered how you could maybe turn those hobbies and your passion into an actual career? If that sounds interesting to you, then ISSA has the opportunity you've been looking for. ISSA is the International Sports Science Association, and they can help you become a certified personal trainer in as little as 3 months. And right now you can get $100 off your certification when you sign up through our link, joinissa.com/dogs, DAWGS. Now, certifications are 100% online, self-study, and self-paced. You can study anywhere from your phone, tablet, or computer. And the final exam is open note, open book, aka piece of cake. Except you fitness nuts probably don't eat a ton of cake, so let's just call it a piece of delicious protein bar. And ISSA has the #1 job guarantee in the industry. If you get certified and sign up to be a certified trainer with ISSA, you have a job guarantee or your money back. ISSA has over 10,000 gym partners that have over 73,000 open jobs for trainers right now. And you don't need a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree. You just need your certification to qualify for these jobs. So what are you waiting for? With certification this simple, there's no excuse not to pursue your passion and become a certified personal trainer today. Get $100 off your certification at joinissa.com/dogs. You've wanted to make a change long enough. Now it's time to do something about it. That's joinissa.com/dogs for $100 off your personal trainer certification. And I hear all the time, well, if Kevin just had his quarterback, he's got him.
No,
he's got
doesn't.
him. Dylan's his quarterback. Yes, he is.
Bro.
Hey, don't tell me no. They said
there's a difference between
number 2 on their board. I don't care where they took him.
Number 2 on maybe in quarterbacks, but not overall. They didn't take him in the first round.
I'm not saying overall. I'm saying he was Kevin's quarterback.
Okay.
You don't think so?
No. Maybe.
Okay. Well, they said
like positional value.
I think they loved Cam Ward. And they knew they weren't getting Cam Ward. And then they went, but that's the thing is, like, at the end of the day, like you were saying, the scouting department, they said, okay, well, if Gabriel's number 2 on the board, they overlook some things.
They could have had Dart. I don't, people can say what they want. That's the fact. It's a fact. I like Dart a lot in the process. Now, maybe Shador comes out here and changes some minds because maybe he's got it. but
I
he
do
will
think
not
he
have
has it, but-
to work with.
That's fair.
See, the guy in the middle must be Kevin's cousin's friend. Nope. In fact, I wanted them to hire offensive coordinators the last couple of years. But I just also can, like, there isn't a coach in the league that would do well with this team in its current predicament. And I came into this season knowing we weren't going to be good because we don't have any good players. And this season is about, make sure the wheels don't come off, make sure the rookies get ready. This is a multi-year rebuild, people. Jimmy told you that in the preseason. Whenever Deshaun didn't work out, it was done. It was going to take 2 to 3 to 4 years to get back to being in a competitive window again. We went from an old roster to one of the younger rosters. We have to inject this team with youth. We have to get younger. And then that you don't do that all in one offseason. We can talk about the draft. I agree. Like, if Darts ends up being good, it looks bad that you passed on him. But at the end of the day, we still had a super good draft this year. Okay.
We think we did. Like I said to somebody earlier, like
Jackson
we thought
Dart's
Jed
gonna be
Wills
good.
was going to be really good after his rookie year.
We think Jackson Dart's. We can't say we don't know Jackson.
No,
Dart's
I'm
good
saying,
or not
but I'm
yet.
saying what I saw on the field from him is already stuff that I haven't even glimpsed a little bit from Dylan.
But you
that was
glimpsed
my
it from
point.
Quinshawn Judkins and Carson Schlesinger and Mason Graham and Harold Fannin and all these.
But again,
So
this whole multi-year rebuild thing doesn't sit well with me when last year we had however many 7 draft picks in 2024 and not one of them is currently contributing on the field. Not one.
Well, no, I
So
didn't say
you could have a
last
draft
year.
like this year,
but
or
we're
a
not
draft like
talking.
that.
We're not talking about last year. I'm saying I don't understand the people who knew that we didn't have any good offensive players, who knew the team wasn't going to be good, and who knew we were in a rebuild, being mad that we're not good and in a rebuild.
I think some of us just are tired of losing. Man. We just don't like it.
The owner of the team, just be realistic, though. Just be realistic.
But I still don't have to like it.
You know,
I don't think that this. I've told you this, and this is where we disagree and everything. I just don't think Kevin's the guy to ever get this team where we want to be. I don't care who the quarterback is.
And my
Go draft
pushback
Fernando
on
Mendoza
that,
next year and
my
get
pushback
your
on that,
left tackle.
My
I don't
pushback
care.
on that is I've never, ever, 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 ever heard you once say that. In fact, you've loved
That's
Kevin.
because I've changed my mind, Blake. I'm allowed to do that.
So this year, but my point then is this year, what made you change your mind?
Watching this team on the field, this offense
with the worst players. This is what makes you change your mind. You didn't change your mind last year.
No,
we had
because
bad players
I'm
last
finally
year.
realizing, and
We had
people
bad
are going to be
players
like,
last
he's
year.
finally seen the light. People have been saying the same bullshit about Kevin from year one. And we've been like, nah, but he's winning games. Nah, but he made the playoffs. Nah, but he was head coach of the year. But every year, the same comments get made about his offense, about his play calling, about his decision making, this and that. And now you couple that, it's a progressive thing, repeated every year. And now it's coupled with losing every single game. I'm done with it.
We're literally one calendar year away from going to the playoffs.
I'm done. But I know, like I said, if you're not, I get it. I just am.
That's fine. I just think what you're making your decision on is basically worthless logic.
4-21. That's not worthless. That sucks.
It is. Because look at what he's been dealt with. I'm just telling you, what coach?
What other coach in the league can do this and keep his job? And front office. What regime gets to do this?
Tell me the coach that has been super good with backup quarterbacks in the last 4 years, 5 years. What coach out there?
I don't have a list of coaches.
They don't exist. They don't exist.
Yeah, because they all get fired like he should be.
They don't exist. So we should do what all the other bad franchises are doing.
Yeah, because we're obviously the worst. So if they're bad, they're still better than us.
Instead of root cause fixing, that's just Band-Aid fix. Let's just go into the same thing we've always done.
Yep. Get rid of these guys.
Okay. Good job. For the record, I'm usually right. So I'll see you guys next year on when we're winning games, hopefully.
I told you guys, I don't want to be right about this.
Well,
I don't.
You don't have to. You don't have to worry about it. You're not.
Oh, well, that's good. So next year we're going to go to the playoffs?
I think we'll at least be. I said this is what I said.
Well, we go 500.
You asked me last week, how long does Kevin have? And this is what I said in the Discord today. Give me an actual NFL wide receiver and give me 2 actual NFL tackles. And if next year by week 4 we still can't score 20 points, I'll be right here with you screaming that he should be gone. But I'm not going to evaluate my coach who's got 12 different starting offensive line positions so far this year, no NFL wide receivers on his team, and playing with a 40-year-old Joe Flacco to start the year and a third-round rookie quarterback. That's not what I'm going to base my evaluation on.
What other offensive head coach in the league ends up with no offensive talent on his side of the ball? Like, there's got to be a disconnect there between him and, like, why are you loading up my defense and giving me jack squat on offense then?
Well, because if you remember, the offense carried his first 3 years. And Joe Woods' defense was terrible. We had no defensive linemen. We had no linebackers. The offense is what carried. Well, then we swung and missed for Deshaun for the offense. And then when that didn't hit, then everything came crumbling down. Just, that's why. This offense carried his first 3 years here.
Okay, doesn't mean you, but they just don't. I don't know, man. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We're going to have the same argument every week. We're going to have the same argument every week.
Just go back and look. The offense carried his first 3 years. Then they swung and missed for Deshaun. It didn't work out. Now he's coaching exclusively with backup quarterbacks. We have no money to infuse the roster with any kind of talent. And now you get stuck coaching basically what our roster was in 2017. Those are just facts.
My fear is that we've been looking for a franchise quarterback for 30 years. There's a serious chance we're probably not going to get one in the next 2 years, man.
Then it doesn't matter who the coach is. Because unless you have one, you're not winning.
Well, and get ready for these fire Stefanski comments every week, because it's just bad.
I'm just saying.
It's just bad. And I don't disagree. The personnel is terrible. But I also don't believe in the coach anymore either. Like, both things to me are bad.
What I'm basing it on is the last time we had one NFL wide receiver, we went to the playoffs.
Can we all agree that we need to fire Chad O'Shea? Can we just get a new wide receiver coach? Why the hell is it he's the only one that's been here since 2020?
It's fair.
It's the worst position group on the team every year, it seems like. Or at least the one that never develops. We draft these guys. Nothing ever happens with them. Ever.
It's fair. Either we don't know how to draft them or we can't acquire them because we don't have the picks or the salary cap.
Not having 3 first-round draft picks definitely hurts. And then drafting Anthony Schwartz.
What'd you guys think of, Campbell, Tyson Campbell today?
I thought it started off good, man.
1 day of practice or what?
Yeah, I thought it was. I mean,
do you think they should have started him?
I mean, he got there Thursday. Thursday was his first practice, and then
if Joe Flacco
it was Friday, dude.
Yeah.
If Joe Flacco can start at quarterback for the Bengals this week, then he can start at corner for us, I guess, on the same kind of notice.
It was either him or Miles Harden, right? Or Dom Jones.
I thought he was fine.
I saw a comment in here that said they thought, which I agreed with, it said they thought he played pretty well. Like, anybody can get burnt by DK one time.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's DK Metcalf. I thought he held his own, played pretty well. It's not like I was like, what did we do? Like, he seemed like he fit into the defense.
Newsome gave up, what was it, a 61-yard touchdown in Jacksonville today?
To Njigba?
I did not see that.
Yeah.
Jackson
Smith and
get burnt
Jigba.
by that guy too, by the way.
Yeah.
He's freaking balling out.
Yeah.
So.
Talk about a guy that had like a, I guess, mediocre rookie season, and that was it. Then it just...
He just had to have a path. He just had to have a path. And then
that's true.
Once the path cleared.
Speaking of DK, right, in Seattle.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you kind of saw the transition last year.
And I think we kind of gone the whole show without mentioning a future Hall of Famer. I mean, I think we said his name maybe once at the beginning, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers looked like just he is a veteran quarterback that just knows how to play the game today. Yep. I mean, we didn't sack him. There was a couple times where we could have, but he just kind of got the ball away at the right moment. I don't know.
Did enough to win the game. He had some nice throws too, but like,
how about the Steelers being 4-1 and everybody else is under 500 in the division? Who had that on their bingo card for the year? Ravens are what, 1-5 now?
Yep.
Just like us.
They should fire their coach. Dan says, Blake, if you are wrong next year, will you admit you were wrong? Doesn't seem like it, so the whole convo is pointless. I admit when I'm wrong literally all the time on this show. A couple of years back, I said the Raiders were going to win the division when they got Carr and Devontae Adams and a couple other guys. I said, watch out for the Raiders this year. That was terrible. What else was I wrong about? Oh, I thought Deshaun was going to be awesome. I was wrong about that.
Yep.
I thought Baker was going to be out of the league when we got rid of him. I was super close to being right about that. Now it turns out
very wrong also. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. It's just I'm right a lot. So, until
sucks
I'm proven
we're
wrong, until I'm proven wrong, I'm not going to say I'm wrong.
Well, then I feel like I'm right though, because we're in the midst of. Well, it doesn't matter.
We're gonna find out in 3 years.
Like I said,
when Andrew Berry gets when they move off of Andrew Berry.
I posed this question, and I'll pose it to you guys. Then, if the reason we're losing is coaching, we don't have.
That's
to
not the only reason, but I'm saying the coaching's bad too.
But
what was your question? I'm sorry.
To say then you're fine with just bringing this team back with
That's
a better or
don't be silly, Blake. Don't be
why is that silly.
Of course, we're not okay with bringing this roster back.
Well, then
everything needs change.
So if we didn't change this roster and we had a different coach, would we have 2 wins now, 3 wins, 4 wins, 5 wins? How many wins would we have?
Dude, I don't know how many wins we would have because I don't even know who that coach would be. The point is,
pick your favorite.
The point is, after this season, they need all new talent. They need to get new players on offense. I just believe they need to get a new coaching staff with those players. That's all. That's
the way I'll concede is, like I said earlier in the show, if it just becomes like we're not competing from the word jump, we're getting blown out by 40 every game, like people are fighting on the field.
Well, keep an eye on the locker room after Miles said his stuff today.
If there's leaks, if you start, because like historically with this team, there's not leaks with this front office, that kind of thing. It's pretty tight-lipped. If you start seeing leaks, players only meetings in the locker room, all that kind of, okay, then I'll start being like, okay, then maybe it's time to make a change. But in penalties shoot way back up. We start having 12, 15 penalties a game, all pre-snap penalties. Like you're talking about being unprepared, but we almost never have pre-snap penalties anymore.
I keep lining up in illegal formations, which that one drives me nuts.
The league average in penalties in a game is 5 to 7, and I think every single game we've been in that, except for last week, and 4 or 5 of our penalties were on Leviston.
Okay,
just pay attention.
Way down.
Pay attention to the trade deadline. Because if they move, if they move Chief out of here, a huge culture guy, Newsom's already gone. You're talking about trading away Joel Bitonio, who's just been in Cleveland, probably going to get a jacket. Teller. I mean, I obviously those last two, the play has been down, but like those are veteran locker room guys. Let's see how up it is because we love
Shelby
Chief,
Harris,
right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Shelby Harris is another guy. Those are all your energy guys. Like as far as like, I don't know. I feel like obviously it makes sense to do those things because we're not going anywhere. We all think that it's probably pretty much a wrap on the year, correct?
Oh yeah,
I don't know how it doesn't go downhill. That's my worry.
But I guess I know you guys mentioned this earlier. I mean, if they're trading away Newsom and these guys,
it's not a retool.
That's a regime.
It's not a retool. It's not a retool.
Right. It's a rebuild, but it's a regime that knows that they're going to be in charge of that rebuild, or at least has some assurances.
I truly don't think, like I said, unless it goes way off the rails, nobody's going anywhere. I think it's understood. Everybody in that building knew what this year was going to be. It seems like the only people who didn't know were fans, even though some of us did know.
No, we knew it was going to be bad. It's just like I said, it's just different watching it. Just when you're going through it's easier to look at something and say, oh yeah, this won't be that bad. And then you go through it, you're like, yeah, this freaking sucks.
Maybe I'm just like an overly objective person, but I just watch these games and think, whatever.
Well, you said you're dead inside.
Fannin looks good. Quinshon Judkins looks good. Defense plays hard. That's all. Penalties are down. That's all I care about. We're not getting wins. We have one more win than I thought we were going to get all season. So That's where I am on the Browns. It's almost calf season.
This is true.
Play calls are tired and boring. Can't throw past 10 yards. Can't throw past 10 yards, I feel like, isn't the offensive play calling. I feel like it's the quarterback and the wide receivers and the offensive tackle. The offensive tackle situation. Hard to throw the ball downfield when your quarterback's short. Hard to throw the ball down the field when you don't have any time. Hard to throw the ball downfield when nobody's open. Like, if anybody remembers not that long ago when we had Amari Cooper and Joe Flacco, we threw bombs literally every play. We had no run game. It was just Joe Flacco throwing bombs all game. So I don't think the offensive scheme is the dink and dunk. I just think that's just all we can do.
But we also said a million times that Joe Flacco stretch was not sustainable over the course of an entire season. Like, you can't.
It just would have been it would have been a Jameis thing. He would have thrown for 60 touchdowns and 50 interceptions and 8,000 yards.
Which today was the first time in Joe Flacco's last, gosh, I forget how many games that he didn't throw an interception. And he threw 2 touchdowns for the Bengals, 2 touchdowns for the Browns in 4 games.
I mean, look who he's throwing to. I might be able to throw a touchdown for the Bengals.
I don't think so.
All you got to do is just do a 5-step drop and throw it as far as you can. Jamar Chase will catch one of them eventually. But, all right, we'll wrap it up. We've been on this. We try to keep them an hour. Look at us, an hour and 19 minutes. There's a game to be watching right now.
We're rolling tonight.
But we appreciate you guys being here, hanging out with us, letting us know what you guys think in the chat. If you guys want to get voicemails on the show, again, that's thedogspodcast.com. Tap leave voicemail, the drop-down menu. Browns, another tough defeat, 1-5. We'll see you. We'll probably see you guys on this episode next week when we're 1-6. But we'll see you before then when we're previewing the matchup with the Dolphins. I will say, if the offense is terrible against the Dolphins and then you have the bye, maybe we'll get Shedeur out of the bye.
You almost have to. Almost.
That's like what I'm. That's what I'm kind of like now. Like, I just have little things that I'm looking forward to, and that's the next thing I'm looking forward to. But until then, we'll continue to commiserate with you guys here at 8:00 p.m. on a Sunday night. So we appreciate you guys being here.
And all week long in the dog pack.
Yes, jointhedogs.com. Jump in there, be a part of it. And we'll see you guys on Thursday for a preview episode.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at The Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.
BetterHelp. Browns fans, if you're like me, the stresses in life only increase the older you get. Your family, your job, your bank account, just a few things that drive the cycle of stress every day. And if you have people constantly depending on you, it can put a heavy weight on your mental health. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? Why does no one appreciate everything I'm trying to do for them? If these thoughts have ever darkened your day, 1, you're not alone, and 2, I highly recommend talking to someone, and that's where BetterHelp could be the right resource for you. Head to BetterHelp, HELP.com/dogs, DAWGS for 10% off your first month of talk therapy. Just fill out a simple questionnaire and BetterHelp will match you with the best therapist for your needs. And if it's not the right fit, you can switch therapists at any time for no extra cost. BetterHelp is 100% online. You can talk with your therapist on the phone, via face chat, or even through text message. Your therapist will listen, ask questions, and help you see things from new perspectives. So what are you waiting for? Take the first step to making positive improvements in your life. Head to BetterHelp.com/dogs now for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/dogs for 10% off your first month.